Well, what a stellar Sunday we had, huh?
Oh, that was fun.
My God.
You have a good time? You enjoy yourself?
Oh, man. What a disgrace. Where do you want to start? You want I don't want to. Should I just go start kicking and screaming about the absolute disgrace that the New York Jets are? Everybody knows already what they are. That they're the worst team in football by far. Let's be honest. I mean, 2 games they played, they've been not competitive in either game. I mean, let's be honest about it. Should we yell about them?
Yesterday, the New York Jets lost by a final score of 31-13 to the San Francisco 49ers. The San Francisco 49ers lost Nick Bosa. They lost Solomon Thomas.
Like right away, too. It wasn't like they lost him late in the fourth quarter either.
Right out of the gate. Basically, you're right. Raheem Mostert eventually would get hurt.
Yep.
Jimmy Garoppolo would eventually get hurt.
After he played the first. And also, when you say this, Garoppolo plays the first half on one leg, too.
Yes.
He's limping around the whole time.
Yes, and the Jets still managed, despite a Niner team being ravaged by injuries, they still managed to be completely, I guess the word is, they didn't compete. This was not a competitive game in any way, as they get just destroyed by the San Francisco 49ers.
I mean, where do we start? I mean, obviously we start with last week, opening day, they got the kickoff and promptly had a holding penalty on the kickoff to put themselves back on the 9-10-yard line. Yesterday, the first play from scrimmage, 80 yards untouched on a pitch out. 80 yards untouched. They didn't touch the guy as he's going down the sideline.
You didn't even
get your rear end in his seat, and this guy's gone for a touchdown.
Can I ask you something? So I'm sitting there. It's about 1:08 p.m. First play of the game, like you mentioned. You're barely comfortable. I found myself uncontrollably laughing.
Yeah. Well, what else can you do?
That's what I was doing. I was cracking up.
Because it's hilarious.
Yeah.
It is. Of course, that comedy was only topped by the 3rd and 31 when the other guy, I forget his name, Coleman, I guess, goes for, I don't even know if it was him, whoever it was, goes for like 55.
No, that was Jerick McKinnon.
Oh, McKinnon, that's right.
Yeah.
3rd and 31, 55. And right after, and let me say this too, because about 2 plays before that, Quinnen Williams, who actually had a pretty decent game yesterday. I mean, how about that? I mean, it was actually a sighting of Quinnen Williams yesterday. Sacks, I guess it was Mullins at this point, and the ball's on the ground. And he's got his hand on the ball on the ground, can't control it with one hand, and the other guy, one of the Niners, jumps on it. How big a play is that? They were on like the 4-yard line.
Bro, it was big. I can't get on Quinnen Williams for
No. I'm not knocking Quinnen Williams for not making the play. I'm just saying that here's an opportunity. Can somebody pounce on the ball? Yeah. Somebody.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
The thing
and then 3rd and 31 for 55.
3rd and 31 for 55 was the comedic nature of what we were watching.
No doubt about it.
Because once they're down set, you know what? I'll tell you exactly when this game was really, really, really over. When it was really over.
I know where you're going. Go ahead.
When they're down 14-3, it all does feel lost. I mean, Marcus May cannot stop Jordan Reed. It was a terrible match.
He killed him yesterday.
And look, the Niners also on that drive converted on a 3rd and 13. They converted on a 2nd and 25. I mean, listen, the defense was nothing to write home about. But when they've got the football with a 4th and 1 from the 20, and by God, Adam Gase is going for it. I'm ecstatic. Like, great.
Right. Well, he has to. He had to go for it.
And he decides of all the plays you could call, because you got a lot of options here on 4th and 1 from the 20. You really do. He decides to run the football up the middle with Josh Adams, who took off the practice squad 15 minutes ago, and it was his one and only carry of the game.
Right. After Frank Gore was playing pretty well. Hey, forget even that. You got a half a yard. How about a quarterback sneak there? How about Donald runs up to the line, brother? We've seen Tom Brady do this for 100 years. How about he runs up to the line and just bing, quarterback sneak, get the first down? Will you? Just do that.
Nothing wrong
never
with
see
that.
Do we ever see him do that? Ever?
Nothing wrong. Do we ever see Sam Darnold throw the football past the first down marker on 3rd down? Do we ever see that either, by the way?
Oh, my God.
Is that something you ever see? Have you seen that before?
How bad, bro? How bad is this head coach? There's so many things. That play, let's go back to the drive. The first drive they had during the game. All right, they're down 7-0. They got a pretty nice drive going. Then it stops. They have a couple plays. They lose yardage. They got a 3rd and 16. 3rd and 16, well in field goal range, but you're not beating this team. You're not winning this game kicking field goals. And he plays for the field goal.
He does.
He hands the ball to Frank Gore up the middle. He gets 3 yards, and they kick a field goal. What are you doing? Can you take a shot to get the damn first down? Mr. Offensive Genius, Christopher Johnson? I mean, could you take a shot to get the first down? Of course not.
Of course not. And, to go back, tell me if you disagree with me, because maybe you'll disagree with me on this. That's fine. Before the 4th and 1 play, they had 3rd and 1.
Yeah.
And so clearly this
right, you're
is
going
fourth
for it
down
on
territory.
4th down. Why not throw the ball there?
Well, yeah, because you just ran the ball with Frank Gore twice to get it to 3rd and 1.
Right.
Look, if you throw a pass into the end zone, God forbid, and it's incomplete, then give the ball back to Frank Gore. I've got confidence that Gore can get me a yard. That's basically what he can do.
Or a quarterback sneak.
Or we can go back to that, which is fine.
Bro, if they would have on 4th and 1, if he would have threw the ball in the end zone, I would have felt better than that call.
It was an awful call.
It was awful.
And then go ahead, because we're going to get to the same thing. Go ahead.
This show just what a brutal head coach Adam Gase is. You're down 24-3. You get that interception by Desir. Okay, all right, great, whoop-de-doo. When he doesn't take it, well, by the way, when he didn't return it for a touchdown, I knew he weren't scoring a touchdown. But with that said, so now they got a 4th and 7 after the great Chris Herndon, by the way. Let's not forget Chris Herndon dropping a touchdown pass on 3rd down in the end zone where Donald actually made a hell of a play.
He did.
To put it right in his hands.
It was a great throw.
Catch the ball for a touchdown. Now Herndon, who fumbled last week, too. Let's not forget that. Oh, he was great. They got high hopes for him. Anyway, 4th and 7, 24-3. 24-3. Bro, he kicked I couldn't believe. You got to take a shot to score a touchdown. And then he says, the brilliant head coach, Mr. Offense, the genius, Air Gaze. Okay? We'll call him Air Gaze. We call him Airhead Gaze. But anyway, he says he doesn't have a play against this defense that he feels is going to work on 4th and 7. What? If you're the head coach of an NFL team, how can you make what? That is such an indictment on you, the coach, Adam Gase. I mean, anything, bro. I could have drew a play up. Sam, here, throw the ball. Okay, whoever the receiver we got left. Who we got left? Berrios, Malone, whoever these guys are that we never heard of. Okay, you run to the corner of the end zone, and I'm just going to throw the ball up to you. Try to catch it. I mean, give me something. You don't kick a field goal. Oh my God.
That was the worst possible answer he could have given.
How do you answer it like that? How do you say that?
It's because you know what Adam Gase showed a little bit last year, and I've mentioned this last year, and it was on full display yesterday.
Saying. And you're right, too, about this.
He concedes.
He
gives
clearly
up.
gives up on his team.
He gives up.
Clearly. You are dead on.
That's what he does.
Right.
And he does it a lot. And he did it with the play calling. He did it with not letting Sam basically do anything. I mean, how many outs can you run over and over again?
Over and over.
And you're 100% right. I don't give a damn if you're playing the 85 Bears defense. At that point in the game, the only shot you have of winning is going for it. It's not kicking a field goal to make it 24-6, and he has the audacity to say, well, we needed something positive. What the hell's positive out of scoring a 6th point? Who feels good about that besides someone who has Sam Ficken in fantasy? Who feels good about that? Who's positive about that, Adam?
This guy is an abysmal head coach. I don't want to hear anybody. I don't want to hear Boomer. I don't want to hear anybody start sticking up for this guy. Where is your defense of this guy? But you know what? He's just a result of things. Because the real problem, obviously, is the owner will hire this guy. But this guy, it's unbelievable. His game plans, and I understand he's got no skilled players. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I mean, what do they have on? They got nothing on offense. Nothing. But, I mean, you talk about playing not to win games. And you're so right. He gives up on his football team, bro. Gives up on his team.
He does, and he in a lot of ways admits that after games. He's looking to make excuses. Yep. We know the Jets aren't a talented team. We know that.
Of course.
Absolutely. but they have scored 30 points in 2 weeks. And the truth is, they didn't score 30 points in 2 weeks because twice they scored garbage time touchdowns, which no one takes legitimate.
Right. No
so
question.
What have they done offensively over the first 2 weeks of the season? What have they done? And what are they allowing Sam to do? And how could we, as football fans or Jet fans or whomever, how could any of us formulate an opinion on Sam Darnold right now?
Yeah.
Like, was he really bad yesterday? I don't know. Was he?
Look, he's done nothing to wow me. You know, like Patrick Mahomes will wow you, or Lamar Jackson will wow you, or Kyler Murray will wow you, okay? He's done nothing to do that. But with that said, when you surround this guy with the garbage that he's surrounded with, and then you look at who his head coach is. I mean, this guy, we thought Todd Bowles was bad, bro. Todd Bowles is a terrible head coach. But, I mean, he makes Todd Bowles look like he's Paul Brown, this guy. I mean, how you could go from Todd Bowles to a worse head coach is almost impossible.
They managed to.
And only the Jets could do it.
And right now, we mentioned before, look, Giants are looking at a football game that will help determine their season. They go out, they beat the Niners, here we go.
Right.
The Jets right now, I know it's only 2 weeks, look to be, and I'm sitting there watching everything I can from the NFL. We all are.
Worst team in the league.
They look, not just the worst team in the NFL, far and away the worst team in the NFL.
A non-competitive team. They look like they don't belong in the league. And they look like they are going to be a lock to get the number one pick in the draft.
Yeah.
I mean, a lock.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. I feel that way after 2 weeks. A few days ago, I wasn't sure. Now I'm sure.
Oh.
They are the worst team in the National Football League by a mile and a half.
Mile and a half.
And you are hearing things from players that are very concerning.
No question.
When you've got a guy in Bradley McDougald who just came over here, he just walked through the door from a program that knows a thing or two about winning in Seattle.
Yeah, a little bit, right.
And 2 weeks into this season, he's already talking about how awful the practices have been. They haven't had a good week of practice. Well, who do we blame for that?
Yeah, of course.
We don't blame Iron Staten Island for that. We don't blame you, Joe. We don't blame Fireman Ed. It's the head freaking coach. Yep. And you've got veteran guys saying it without saying it. And that's a problem.
That was I saw that this morning. I was watching Sports Night on SNY, and I heard McDougald say that. What an indictment that is. We don't, basically paraphrasing that, we don't practice hard enough. We are not, I think he used the phrase, and I'm paraphrasing, we don't win in practice. Something like that.
Well, looking at the way they play, what the hell would they win at?
I mean,
they wouldn't win anything.
That is some indictment on the head coach of this football team.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's no other way to say it.